The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. A quote I hold dear by Nelson Mandela. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very great day I bid to all. My name is Nur Shazwina Almani binti Saiful Azni. I am currently a Form 4 student from Sekolah Menengah Sains Kota Tinggi. I am the eldest of 4 siblings within my family, and my hobby is watching documentaries and discussions on imperative issues because I really do enjoy being a well-informed citizen. My responsibilities include being the president of the English and Debate Club and also the captain of the school's debating team, where I help my teachers to conduct activities and guide my juniors on the know-how of English literature and debating. I'm also the librarian secretary, where I coordinate documenting efforts and make spreadsheets to maintain data quality. In 2022, I've led my team to win the Gold Award and Malaysian Young Scientists Association Special Award in the International Science and Invention Fair in Bali. I've also received the Gold Award and Best Speaker Award in the Zone category of Bahas Piala Perdana Menteri and had received the Silver Award in the national level. I've also led my team to win the Platinum Award in the 40 Residential Schools International Symposium and had received Best Delegate in UITM's Model United Nations. I am also the state champion for the English Book Review competition. In 2021, I've led my team to win the Gold Award and Best Presentation Award in the Malaysian Young Inventors Olympiad. I've also received the Gold Award for IT Crate and had participated in the summer camp conducted by UKM in the course of Advanced Statistics, where I've received the Best Commitment Award. So now moving on to the book that I'm going to discuss, which is entitled War. So this is a 325-page book with 8 chapters. It was published by Penguin Books, and this new paperback collection edition was published in 2017. The stories within the book have been published before as early as 1944. So this book is actually a collection of stories from Roald Dahl's time serving as an ace fighter pilot for the RAF during World War II and other stories of adversity. Roald Dahl was a spy, ace fighter pilot, chocolate historian, and medical inventor before finding his one-true calling, which is writing children's books. Matilda, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the BFG might ring some bells. He also writes books with heavy themes for mature audiences. The book starts off with Roald Dahl's voyage from England to a far-off British African colony in a boat called SS Montola. Upon arriving at Mombasa, our protagonist is given instructions from a man from the shell company to proceed to Dar es Salaam in what is now called Tanzania. There, he was to run the shell company with 3 other Englishmen. They were treated like princes, with each having a boy or a native servant who was proficient in many skills. This did not last long, however, as war was imminent. As an effort to fight for his country, our protagonist completed his training and got his wings, all the while being promoted to pilot officer. His first task after being promoted was to fly the Gladiator to join the 80th Squadron in the Western Desert. The journey was described as daunting, as he was to fly from Egypt to Libya with no flying aids. Tragedy soon struck as the Gladiator buried its nose in the sand at around 75 miles per hour due to fuel shortage. As a result, our protagonist was heavily injured and blinded. It was by sheer luck that he survived as the whole aircraft burned pitch black. After recuperating in the hospital and regaining his physical abilities, however, he sets off to Greece on the hurricane. Henceforth, he was tasked with many other similar duties in Syria. As fate would have it, after 4 weeks of intense flying, our protagonist contracted a severe headache. The pain came by due to high gravitational stress, which came by like a knife in the forehead. He was invalided home to Britain, as flying will now lead to imperiled doom. Finally, he reunites with his family after 3 years abroad. The main theme of the book is about sacrifice. The author details the sacrifices he and many others have made when facing war. The theme of letting go of comfort and safety for the greater good is compounded in every instance of conflict faced, like the sacrifice a mother makes to allow her child to go to foreign lands, and an individual sacrifice of their life to fight for their country. The intellectual value within the book can be seen when the author describes Hurricane, a modern plane which has a variable pitch propeller with 8 machine guns in its wings. This really does highlight the value of human ingenuity, where humans can actually make great things. It just depends on how we use them. The moral value present within the book is then hard work. We can see the author being hardworking as he carries out his duty to the best of his abilities, no matter how dangerous the task might be, like delivering a parcel to a soldier in enemy territory. The moral value of being caring is also present within the book, where we see the author writing to his mother frequently to update and assure her of his well-being so as not to worry. The things that I found interesting within the book are, firstly, the people. like a man with the initials U and Savory. The man applied Epsom salt on his suit's shoulders to give the impression of having dandruff, which only would be produced if one has real hair. The man was bald and tried hard to convince people otherwise, which really does echo our need to fit in. Secondly, I found the descriptions very vibrant and very interesting. I will now read an excerpt. We ourselves were bursting with energy and exuberance and perhaps a touch of self-importance as well, because now we were interpret flying men and devils of the sky. From the description itself, one could really feel the pride of the author when they do actually achieve great feats. So moving on to the topical discussion. The question reads, overflowing of various content on social media to increase netizens' ratings and view rates has become the latest trend at present. Discuss this trend in detail. The term information overload was coined by Bertrand Gross, the professor of political science at Hunter College, in his 1964 work, The Managing of Organizations. I quote, information overload occurs when the amount of input to a system exceeds its processing capacity. Decision makers have limited cognitive processing capacity. Consequently, when information overload occurs, it is likely that a reduction in decision quality will occur. End quote. Human beings have been constantly surrounded with information since the Renaissance period, as opinions on book production were of concern during that time. But it is only recently that content overload really became apparent, with the emergence of freely accessible information online. Statistics from a global Hootsuite survey have shown social media becoming a preferable search engine, leading with 49.6% as compared to actual search engines among 16 to 24 years old, while other age groups use both search engines and social media equally, leaning more towards traditional search engines as the age bracket increases. Therefore, social media's role today is becoming more imperative. As it seeps into our opinions, so too does it influence our private life and spending habits. As social media is a business venture, their executives will enact policies that will allow them to garner more profit. Hence, the algorithm promotes social media content that increases their users' engageability and retention on the platform. If a business wishes to be recognized on these platforms, it must be aligned with the algorithm. This is mostly done by posting incessant amount of content, hence outpacing their competitors by increasing visibility. Nonetheless, businesses must take more time to concoct quality and unique content, as this serves to differentiate their brand from the rest. If this effort is done badly, bad publicity is sure to arise. Therefore, careful planning on a business's part is essential to ensure successful marketing. On a personal level, social media constantly bombards us with status updates, notifications, and other means of interaction. This bombardment can become overwhelming and daunting to us as they pile up over time. This is especially so if one has the habit of needing to check and reply to everything as soon as possible. Most experience depression due to being caught in the comparison trap. Apathy also increases due to exposure to gruesome coverage on a daily basis. Therefore, taking a break from social media and ignoring irrelevant information is important to take care of one's mental well-being. Overall, social media is a versatile platform that allows us to perform various deeds. It is up to us to use it for good or for worse. And that's all from me. Thank you very much.